What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. So we're going to jump right in. I got PyCharm already ready up. We're going to run through argument vector. Different video will be this PP file, and then we have open function. Bird up here is my son's project. He's actually learning Python to create the, I think it's Floppy Bird or Flappy Bird. He's creating his own version of that in Python. So more power to him, but that's the whole reason why I'm doing this. So I'm going to open up argument vector here in PyCharm. Maybe, yes. Am I running any indexes down below? I am. So it's doing a scanning install packages, and we are done. Nice. So I'm actually going to do this and this. You'll notice on PyCharm the soft wrap isn't always on, so you can go into view. Are you messing with me, man? Yeah, active editor. Use soft wraps, and now it will actually wrap your text around. A little bit different color format. I got rid of a lot. I only wanted 2 colors on my board, so I have the blue, which is the background. I got, too many colors can make it annoying as hell, in my opinion. And I feel personally that my coding is a hell of a lot cleaner, and I'm more cognizant of what I'm doing if I'm not relying on colors for alarms and so forth. So, with that being said, I have the new recording software here also. Let's see if we can do this. Oops, wrong one. So I'm going to do this. Whoops. Let's come up here. All right, so line 1. What this code is doing, I'm going to quickly explain it, and then we'll actually run it. And this is code that you're not going to run in PyCharm. You could, but we'd have to open it in terminal, because you'll see right there if we're doing from sys import argv. If you try to run this now, oh, why don't I? I'll just do this real quick. You'll see down below, I'm getting it not enough values unpack, expected 4 got 1. And that's because this is a shell that's going to require a terminal. That's the whole point of the sys module. But we could get around that by doing, is it tools? Or is it view, tool windows? I want the terminal. And now it gives me essentially a terminal down below, and that's what I'm going to be utilizing when we run the code. So let's just go back to the top. Let's do what we always do. Let's run through the code, and then we'll actually run the code. So from sys import argv. So we're saying from the system module, we want the argv method. So that stands for pretty much argument vector, or argument variable, depending on when you were born. But I like argument vector because it sounds cooler. Now, the next line, it says script first, second, third equals argv. Now, if you try to put argv equals and then list this out, you will get an error because you're trying to create a variable. But argv in this script is a reserved word, and so this is the format that it wants it. Now, script first, second, and third, this is important because what we're doing is we're defining the arguments. These are going to be different input variables that we're going to utilize, and those inputs are going to come through the terminal. Unlike some other ones where you can do user input, which we'll see along later. You can also get inputs from the command line, from the terminal. And in fact, that is the preferred method most of the time, depending on the project you're working on. So script is, that argument is the actual name of the script. And as I'm just going to go up a little bit, so you can see it's av.py, av.py. That is the name of the script. So the first argument that I'm going to pass in terminal should be the script. It's expecting the script. Then it's going to be expecting a first, second, and third argument. Now those are essentially just placeholders. Think of them as inputs that are assigned variables. They're like variables. I can put whatever I want for first, second, or third when I'm putting the input in, but the first, second, or third are placeholders, and that's how we're going to utilize them in our code. So now going down, we have print. The script is called, so we have string, comma, script. And then you'll notice that that script there is going to be referring to the script that is in line 5, which is also the name of the actual script that we're running. The next line is print, your first variable is, and then I have first. Now again, your first variable is just a string. The word first is coincidental, that's going to be first, second, and third. The first at the end of that string in line 10 is referring to the first that's in line 5, which is just whatever argument, whatever we put in that argument, in that first argument. So it's going to be in a placeholder, and this will make more sense to you as we run the code. Print, your second variable is second. Print, your third variable is third. Now, we're going to check the output in the command prompt. We're going to do that. we are supplying 4 arguments in the command prompt. What that means is if you look back at line 5, we have script, first, second, and third. Those are 4 arguments. Even though script is not necessarily an argument because it can only be the word script because that's the name of the script, first, second, and third, we're not going to type that. We're actually going to put arguments in, but that's the way that the program works. And then we have in the first position a script name. In the second position, I'll give my first argument in the CP. But notice that the second position is getting the first argument. It's just script is the reserved first position with argv from the sys module. We're going to type in apple tree money, and Python's going to map those arguments. You gotta love it. We'll do it. Cool. So apple tree money, and Python's going to map those arguments, and it's going to map them based on the positions of first, second, and third, based on the order that I put it in. So if I put in apple tree money, apple's going to be mapped to the first argument, tree is going to be mapped to the second argument, money is going to be mapped to the third argument. Now if I change those order, if I made it money tree apple, then money would then be in the first position, then tree in second, and apple in third. So it is position specific. And what happens if we run the file without an argument? So we'll get some errors as well. So I'm going to bring this down here. And what I need to do is, you'll see that it's already mapped into, this is again the terminal. I didn't run the code. If I hit run in PyCharm here, it would have given me an error. So right now all I'm doing is, let's make it even more fun. Booyah! So all I'm doing down here is, that's too much in my opinion. Sorry guys, I know a lot of people say that they want, can I go times 3? No, I can't. Some people complain they can't see the code sometimes, so I did this, using this software to make it bigger. We're going to bring this up, and I'll bring you back down here, and I'm going to get this guy out of the way. So, what am I typing in here? This is the path that we have here. This is terminal. So first I want to use Python, that's what we're using. And the name of the script that I want to run is av.py. And then I'm going to put a space, and now in that script, it's going to be looking for 4 arguments. The first one is the name of the script, which we have. And then we want, what did I say we're going to do? Apple tree money. We'll hit enter. So now, 2 things I want you to notice is very important. I typed apple, comma, tree, comma, and then money. Now notice in my output, it says apple, comma, tree, comma, money doesn't have a comma because it's accepting that, that string as input. So if I didn't put the comma, then it wouldn't have showed up there. But look at, so we got 4 arguments back. The script is called av.py. That was the first argument, was the script. Your first variable is apple, then tree, then money. Now, what if I didn't put enough variables? What if I did, let me do this. I'm just going to hit the up arrow. It's going to bring in the last thing. Let's say I just did apple and tree, hit enter. It gives me an error. It says not enough values to unpack. It expected 4, it only got 3. And it's correct. So again, and if we didn't put the file in, and if I just put tree, apple, it's going to say there's no, it doesn't even understand the directory file path because Python and tree apple makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. Up and up, so there we go. And again, like I said, if we did, let's do this, third, first, I don't want the commas, sorry, first and second. Now it's going to say your first variable is third, your second variable is first, your third variable is second. I just want you to see the mapping that's going on. Now this is very useful in using the command prompt and the arguments, and you're going to see why later on. You just have to trust me at this point. I know that trust is very hard for people, but you got to do it. So play with this, see what you can do, see if you can get it to work. I mean, I know it works, we're doing it now, but play with it and just get this under your belt because we're going to be using this going forward when we're using different user input functions. Take it easy, guys.